Hi. So, um, this video is going to be another one of those chats where I just have to get some stuff off my chest. It's like one of those late nights. It's 12:30 and I just have some stuff that I need to get off my chest. Something I want to share with you. And this is going to be a very, very personal video. I don't really like talking about this, but I've kind of been feeling certain type of ways a little bit, and I just want to like get this off my chest. And usually talking about it in like a video kind of helps me. Like when I did my adoption story, that definitely helped get that off my chest because I wanted to make a video about that for the longest time, and eventually I was like, you know what, let me just do it. So this is going to be another one of those chats. Everyone that watched the adoption video, thank you so much, and for all the lovely comments. That really touched my heart. And so this one is going to be about, it's like really like dark and sad, but I want to talk about this, and it's gonna take a lot for me to talk about this, but I'm gonna get through it. And it is about death and losing somebody that is so influential and important in your life. Like from like when you were really young, they've just helped you grow and kind of mold you into the person that I am today. And it's for my dad. So I don't know if a lot of you guys know, I kind of mentioned it here and there in some videos, but I was never like wanting to give like full disclosure on everything. But last fall was very difficult for me and my mom and my whole family, and it was because over the summer in 2015 we found out that my dad was very sick, and it turned out he had esophageal cancer. I think that's how you pronounce it, esophageal. Something, it's a very rare, not really heard of type of cancer, and he ended up passing away in the fall, and it happened really quickly from what the doctors were saying, from what they were telling us, because he was okay for a while. And then my mom's birthday, I flew out, it was October 4th. I flew out to back home. We went out for her birthday, and literally soon, like really soon after that, he ended up in the hospital and his condition just plummeted. And I was back in San Diego, and I was like here, helpless, trying to deal with school. He was in the hospital, getting worse. They were like, okay, well, he probably will make it to Christmas, maybe the new year. That didn't happen. And he ended up passing away in November. And I actually was there for that. My mom was like, we're flying you out. And I was like, yes, we are flying me out. I need to be there for this. I took like a week off of school. I flew in. I got there on like Tuesday. I was there on Wednesday, and Thursday, early Thursday, like 4 a.m. in the morning, he ended up passing away. And it was a lot because the whole Wednesday, before the Thursday, it was basically like, oh well, you probably are gonna have to say goodbye and just like say what you want to say about for him and everything. And I was like, oh, I don't know what I want to say because I can't believe this is happening. Like, I was like, what do I even say to this? And my mom was like, well, you let him know that you'll be okay. And I was like, okay, but I'm definitely not going to be okay for quite a while. And that was like the most emotional thing to ever happen, to try and be like, eventually we're going to be okay. And then it was just emotional. We had to like walk because I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get out of this house right now. So we walked around the block and it was a tear fest. Like, no, it was like crying, 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 crying. And I was like, I don't want to, I can't deal with this right now. And she was like, well, he was holding on, and I think he just wanted you to basically be here to say goodbye to him before he could, so he would know that it was okay for him to go. And that's pretty much what happened. Like, my mom was there, his brother was there, and his mom was there. And it was like, oh my gosh. It was really emotional. My mom had stayed down in the living room where his bed was the whole time, checking on him, making sure that his medicine was right, that he was not in pain, and she fell asleep. And when she woke up, he was gone. It was just emotional. And coming this December, it will have been 1 full year since he passed away, and it's not something that I talk about on a day-to-day topic. It's still a kind of uncomfortable topic for me because I've had family deaths. My grandpa died. Both my grandpas died. My grandma has passed away. My uncle. But nothing has really affected me to this extent as much as my dad passing away, because that's someone I saw every freaking day, and it was a lot. And it sucks. Anybody dying of anything sucks. Cancer freaking sucks. Like, I hate cancer with like everything. If I've ever hated anything more, or if I've ever hated anything, I hate cancer more than anything. It's just like, ugh. Damn you, cancer. Damn you, that you really just have to invade people's lives and cause so much heartbreak and tragedy. And it's always amazing when someone has cancer and fights through it and lives to tell the tale. But it just sucks for the ones where they don't get to live through it and they don't get to tell how they survived. So the funeral service, well, we didn't really have a funeral, we had more like a memorial service with the friends and family. That was in December, and this is why Taeyeon's I is so important to me as a song, because I was like, okay, well, for this, I want to play pieces on the piano that are fitting of him. I was like, I have to do that. That is like the one thing. If I'm not going to speak at this memorial service, I'm going to do what I do best, and that's play my music, which he loved. So I ended up playing the piano. I played 2 pieces, and the first one I played was from Spirited Away. It's called The Sixth Sense. The link for that will be in the description box. You have to check it out because it is amazingly gorgeous. That was a song he always enjoyed from me, and so I played it, and I was like, okay, well, I kind of want to play like more than one song, and I was like, well, what else do I want to freaking play? And then I was just thinking, looking through my piano music, and I saw Taeyeon's Eye, and I was like, maybe. I was really bad at it when I first got the sheet music. It was 7 pages long, and I was like, But the lyrics meaning, or from what I read for the lyrics on this one translation, stuck out to me. It was like, enjoying your life, being who you are. Life is beautiful. Never giving up, staying true to yourself. And I was like, I need to play this piece. That's why it is such an important song for me, which I don't think I've ever really talked about because, again, uncomfortable topics. I tend to stay away, but that's why Taeyeon's Eye means so much to me. For that, I became obsessed with the song. I practiced the piano nonstop for 2 months, and I perfected it. And the funeral service happened. It was just weird because he passed away before Thanksgiving, and we had to do all the cooking because he always did the big main part of the Thanksgiving of Hanukkah, where he would cook the turkey. We'd get a big turkey and he'd cook it. We'd get the briskets for Hanukkah and he'd cook it. He'd cook the matzo ball soup. He was cooking for all the family things, for all the holidays. My mom cooked the turkey and it came out pretty good. And we had the Hanukkah party right after the the memorial service. And basically that whole morning before the service, I made 2 briskets, followed his recipe that he'd been using for years. And I was like, it was meaningful to me in a way because it was like keeping the tradition going of cooking the food. And so that's now my thing. I'm going to be cooking the briskets from now on if I get to go to these Hanukkah parties, because sometimes they clash with school. Yeah. But so far, so that was really meaningful to me. And then I took a creative writing class, and we had to write poems, and you give them to the class, and they read them, dissect, analyze, and you basically sit there while they go around, and we sit in a circle, and when it's your turn for your works to be talked about, they work on it. And I wrote 5 poems, and one of them, which was the longest poem, was for my dad, and it was basically everything that I had welled up in here that I just poured into the poem, because my mom, she knows me the best when she knows that if it's something uncomfortable or something I don't want to talk about, I will not talk about it. I like bottling my emotions up. Not really a good thing, but you know what? That's how I usually deal with things. And she was like, I get what this poem is to you. And I also read it when we spread his ashes over the summer at one of his favorite beaches in Bodega Bay. And I'm going to read the poem now because it basically gives all my feelings and thoughts to everything of what had happened. So it's long. It's a full page. I didn't have them talk about it though because I really was at that point last spring. I was just like, no, that I cannot deal with this right now. So I don't want them to talk about this. But maybe if I had a second chance, which please no, but if I had a second chance to redo the class, I would want them to talk about it. Because it was the most meaningful poem out of all of them. So it's basically, so here it is. It hurts when I think about you because you're no longer here. No matter how much I want, I won't be able to talk to you again. I've cried my fair share of tears, thinking I couldn't cry anymore. That's a lie. How could I move on when I lost one of the most important people in my life? When everything happened, I kept it inside. I didn't want to talk about it to anyone. I was scared. Why did you, of all people, have to be victim of this? I tried to say I'm okay, I'm fine. That's a lie. How do I move on when I lost one of the most important people in my life? They tell me to talk about my feelings. I decide to keep everything bottled up inside of me. It's not healthy keeping all these emotions. I told myself I would be strong. That's a lie. How do I move on when I lost one of the most important people in my life? It hurts knowing I'll never see you again. I have so much life left to live that you'll be missing. I'm still young and have the world ahead of me. Life is cruel and hurts. That's the truth. Are you happy with the choices I'm making? I want to be strong no matter how difficult it is. I know you want the best for me. You'll be proud. Let me remember all the happiness you've given me. You've helped me so much, that's the truth. Are you happy with the choices I'm making? You're one of my biggest supporters, telling me to always go for my dreams, to be happy. You've given me so much, and I feel like I've given you so little. I wish I still had your guidance. That's the truth. Are you still happy with the choices I'm making? Hug me one last time. Tell me you love me. I'll try to be okay, but it'll take some time. I miss you more than words can describe. Mom and I will be okay eventually. Dad, I love you, and that'll never change. Rest and be out of pain. So that was like the poem that I read for the ashes spreading. Very emotional over the summer. I was like, and it's always going to be emotional, like no matter what year it is, whatever. I feel like I'm feeling it now because it's close to like the time when everything started really hitting. So it'll always be emotional, and it's never gonna stop being emotional, and I don't want it to stop being emotional because it really opened my eyes, and it really was a lot to handle, and it was sucky that I was here in San Diego the week after he passed away. I was back here at school. I was like, well, I guess I gotta finish the rest of the semester, which I did, and that was difficult too, because it was like everyone was grieving and going through stuff up there, and I was down here. And eventually we got through, and it'll always be painful. It's painful for my mom, especially because these past few years she's just lost so many people, from her dad to her mom to her brother to now her husband. And I should more so talk to her about stuff like this, because she's one of those types where her feelings, she's never afraid to speak about them. And I guess I'm like the complete opposite. I'm more afraid to speak about my feelings and stuff like that. And I really should try to talk about my feelings more and not bottle everything up inside of me and stuff like that. But it's hard. It's very hard, and it will have been a year, 1 year in November, and we'll just have to do the best we can, and I'll be there for my mom when she is really feeling the emotions, because I want to be there for her and want to listen and want to give her that moral support that she so deserves. If anyone went through this as hard as I did, it was her. because she was there throughout everything, from the hospital, rushing to the hospital, to being there by his side when he was in bed at home, to everything. When I was there for like barely any of it. So I think I'm gonna end the video because I feel like I've said all that I really wanted to say for now. I might revisit this topic again in the future. You never know. And that's about it for this. I feel a little bit better that I talked about it. And I don't know what else to really say. It's difficult losing someone you love and that is so close to you. And the pain never will go away. Like, I know that for a fact, that it'll always be a very difficult thing and very painful thing to go through this. To anyone that loses someone in their family that they're so close to, it's gonna be very difficult. It's very difficult. It's hard. Try to talk to your family and the ones you're closest to about what you're going through. Don't try to be like me and have it bottled up, because it's not the best, and I felt like I was detached from them because everyone was talking and talking and talking, and I was just sitting there like quiet, and they were like, well, are you okay? How do you feel? And I was just like, I'm okay for now. And maybe I should have been more vocal about it and said, no, I'm not okay. This is extremely painful and extremely hard to sit through this and watch this and try to be brave about everything, when inside it's like a mess of every emotion and I don't really know how to put it into words. Talk about the feelings. It's gonna hurt. You might be uncomfortable. But talking about the feelings is definitely a healthy thing to do. So that was the video that I wanted to talk about, the real talk, the really raw, emotional, intense talk. Not all of my like chat videos, I don't want them all to be like so dark and like melancholy, because like not everything in life is bad. There's a lot of good moments. There's more good moments than there is bad moments, and that's a good thing. Like, thank goodness, thank gosh, that's a really good thing. So I'll leave you with this, and I will be back whenever I feel like it to do another emotionally raw chat, or just any like personal chat in general, because I feel like aside from my K-pop, you kind of don't really know like me to the fullest unless you like talk to me off camera and like really talk to me. But I feel like a majority of you really don't know like everything about me, and not saying that I'm going to tell you everything about me, but just to be like more connected and give you more parts of me in my life is something that I definitely want to do more of. So I will see you guys on the next video, hopefully a more happy topic video, and yeah, bye.